Good day and welcome back. Today we will start with decimal fractions. We will be comparing decimal and common fractions, looking at place value and rounding off decimal fractions. When we look at decimal and common fractions, when we have one digit after the comma, it will be equivalent to a fraction of something over 10. When we have two digits after the comma, it will be equivalent to a fraction over 100. And three digits after the comma will be equivalent to a common fraction of something over 1,000. Easy way to remember, a 10 has 1 0, so 1 digit. 100 has 2 zeros, 2 digits. 1,000 has 3 zeros, 3 digits after the comma. If we continue, place value of decimal fractions. As you remember, we have place values for whole numbers, starting at units and continuing. We will have tens, hundreds, thousands, and so forth. Now, after the place values, starting with tenths, it is written in small caps and not capital letters as the whole numbers to easily distinguish between them. Now, our tenths range from 0,1 up to 9. It doesn't have to be 0 in front of the comma. They can be any whole number. We are interested in the digit after the comma, which will be 1 up to 9. After the tenths, we will get our hundredths. And as you can see, 2 digits after the comma. And it ranges from 0,1 all the way up to 0,99. After our hundreds, we have our thousands, which will be 3 digits. So if we only have 1 over 1,000, we need to put zeros in front. And it ranges all the way up to 0,999. Now, 0 or 1 is much bigger than 0,001 because this is 1 over 10 if we look at common fractions, and this is 1 over 1,000. And as you can remember, unit fractions, when we can compare the denominator at the bottom, and the bigger the denominator, the smaller the size of the fraction. When rounding off decimal fractions, we use exactly the same principle as when rounding off whole numbers. Anything less than 5, the number you need to round off will remain the same. And 5 or more, it rolls over to the next number. So when we want to round off to the nearest tenth, we will look at the digit directly right of it, which will be our hundredths place value. So for example, 0,73, we will look at the hundredths place value, which is 3. 3 is obviously less than 5, so my tenth will remain the same. It will become 0,7. If I have 0,98, 8 is obviously more than 5, so it will roll over to the next tenth, but now it is full. If I have 9 over 10 and I add another 1 over 10, I will get a whole number, and there's my whole. If I need to round off to the nearest hundredth, I will use the thousands place value, which is directly right of it. Exactly the same again. If my thousands place value is 4 or less, my hundredths remain the same. If it's 5 or more, it rolls over to the next hundredth. Let's have a look at examples. I will look at my hundredth. 2 is less than 5, so my 4 will remain a 4. So 3,542 rounded off will be 3,54. If I look at the next example, 19,587, I will look at my 7. 7 is more than 5, so my 8 will roll over to the next hundredth. And then I have 19,59. If we look at the last example, I have 128,996. I will look at the 6. 6 is more than 5, so it rolls over to the next one. 9 becomes full, it rolls over to the next one. That 9 is full, it rolls over to my units, which then will become 129. Let's quickly recap. We looked at decimal and common fractions. 1 digit is equivalent to a tenth. 2 digits will be a fraction over 100. 3 digits, a fraction over 1,000. We looked at our place values. Directly right of the comma, we have our tenths, then our hundredths, and then our thousandths. And comma 1 is bigger than comma 01, and comma 01 is bigger than comma 001. Then we looked at rounding off. When we round off, we look to the number directly to the right. If it's less than 5, the number you need to round off remains the same. And if it is 5 or more, it rolls over to the next number. If the next number becomes full, it rolls over to the next one. I hope you found this useful. Stay safe, and next time we will be looking at adding, subtracting of decimal fractions. Stay safe.